So I want to talk about one of the most underrated and not really talked about free agent move this past offseason, and that's Austin Eckler going to the Commanders. Not a lot of people have really talked about this transaction, I feel like, mainly just because Austin Eckler didn't have the best year a year ago and he looked pretty off. Wasn't fully healthy, but I'm sure for this upcoming year, new team, highly motivated that the Chargers didn't want to keep him, new contract. I'm sure he'll look pretty good in certain spots. Brian Robinson is still going to be the one there, but as a third down back, as a pass catching back, I think he's going to be pretty effective, especially for a young quarterback like Jaden Daniels. I think he'll utilize Eckler very, very well. And he had a pretty interesting quote about a week ago. In this day and age and in every single era, every running back wants to get fed. Every running back wants the ball. Every running back wants a certain number of carries. But in this quote he had recently, he was talking about the Chargers signing J.K. Dobbins and Gus from the Ravens, and he said, it's like, hey, they want a guy they can hand the ball off to 300 times a year. And look, I haven't had the capacity to do that. That's not my game. That's not how Austin Eckler is going to be the best on the field. It's pretty interesting for a running back to come out and straight up say that they don't want a lot of carries. I can't remember the last time a running back has been that transparent or just has had that mentality in general. I mean, good for him to a certain extent because he has had his fair share of injuries and he's not the biggest guy in the world, so at least he knows what he's capable of doing, especially since he's a bit older now. I believe he's 29. So I just think it's really rare for a running back to straight up say, yeah, I don't want a lot of carries every single game. I just want maybe 10 max, and I'll just catch the ball out of the backfield. Kind of crazy if you do think about it, considering a running back's job is to run the ball. But fair play to him. He's topped 300 touches in a season only once in his career, posting 311 to 204 carries and 107 receptions in 2022. Eckler has never recorded more than 206 rushing attempts in a single campaign. So obviously, the Chargers knew that too. The Chargers knew with Jim Harbaugh that Eckler is just not going to be a good fit. They want to really establish the run and help out Justin Herbert in a big way, especially with drafting a guy like Joe Alt. You're really sending a message to everyone in the organization and in the league that, yeah, like, we're going to run the ball and we're going to protect Justin Herbert. Those two things are fundamental. And, of course, signing J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards, those guys aren't Austin Eckler. They're not finesse backs. They're put your head down and let's get it type backs. So I'm really excited to see what the Chargers are going to do with their run game for this upcoming year and just how much better that's going to make Justin Herbert, because to really have an established run game and to really be protected like that, I really want to see Herbert reach the next level and actually reach his potential, because I think he's got potential to be a top 10 QB easily. Has he been playing like that the last few years? I'd say no, probably not. So, in general, I'm really excited to see what the Chargers got going on this year. Let me know if y'all are excited for the Chargers, or are they just being extremely overhyped with Jim Harbaugh. I would totally understand if you do have that feeling, especially if you're not a big Jim Harbaugh guy, but let me know what you think. As far as the Commanders, I've never really talked about them too often so far. Almost made 100 YouTube videos. Haven't really talked about them. I think they're set up pretty well offensively with Jaden Daniels. Brian Robinson is a really underrated back in my opinion. I really like his game a lot, and having Ekeler there as the third down back, I think your run game is pretty secure. And obviously you got Scary Terry. Dotson has a lot of potential. They just signed Zach Ertz too. I have a lot of faith in the offense. I'm really excited to see what Jaden Daniels has in store for everyone. I'm a bit worried though, just because that FedEx Field curse, so many crazy injuries on that field. Alex Smith, Joe Theismann, RG3 of course, and that's one of Jaden Daniels' flaws, especially in college. He took a lot of massive hits, so I'm a bit worried in that regard, but I'm really hope he could calm it down and keep it under control. But I think the Commanders are kind of like a dark horse team. They could definitely make some noise, especially with the Cowboys kind of regressing. I really think there's some leadway to kind of get a few extra wins in the NFC East. And plus, like, you got the Giants in there as well. I think the Eagles are going to be really hungry, but Cowboys, Giants, I think the Commanders could definitely piece those two teams up a bit. Is this a playoff team? Not sure about that. I do trust Dan Quinn to at least be a little bit above average. And I feel like defensively he will definitely help out. So however you feel about the Commanders defense, I feel like they will definitely be better this year. And I'm excited to see them play, man. Jaden Daniels should be very, very electric to watch. Let me know what y'all think about Austin Ekeler. Let me know what y'all think about Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. Do you think they're a playoff team? Do you think they're not a playoff team? Really excited for the season, man. Really, really excited. Can't wait. Essentially 1 more month until the Hall of Fame game. Let's get it. That's all I got for right now. Peace.